They say love is a dance, sometimes waltz, sometimes wildfire. For Mark Consuelos, it was once a storm. And for 7 long, unrelenting days, he lived in its eye. It's hard to imagine now, the couple who became daytime TV royalty, who finish each other's sentences on screen and raise 3 kids off it, were once just 2 young actors fumbling through their feelings backstage. Before the marriage, before the shared empire, there was a week. A single, agonizing week. It was 1996. The world was still spinning in dial-up speed, and in a humid ABC studio, All My Children filmed another storyline with Erica Kane stealing the scene, as always. But off-camera, something else simmered quietly, beautifully dangerous. Mark had joined the soap opera not long ago, cast as Mateo Santos, a charming barkeep with a smile that could sell you anything. Across the soundstage was Kelly Ripa, already several years into her role as Haley Vaughn. She had this energy, electric, sharp, always 5 steps ahead. The kind of girl who didn't just walk into a room. She rearranged it. From the moment they met, something clicked. No fireworks, those came later. At first, it was shy conversations between takes, glances held one beat too long. They'd share jokes that made little sense to anyone else. Inside jokes became coffee dates. Coffee dates turned into weekend escapes. And then, for reasons Mark still struggles to explain, he ended it. I broke up with her, he later confessed in an interview, his voice tinged with the disbelief of a man who had clearly lived to regret the choice. And it was the most agonizing week of my life. That week, the air in the studio changed. They still had to work together, deliver lines like, "I love you," under soft lighting while their real relationship lay cooling in the shadows. A cruel joke, really, acting like soulmates on camera, while avoiding eye contact at craft services. Mark would show up to set early, pretending to read the script, but mostly staring at the same page, over and over. He told himself he needed space. That maybe they were moving too fast. That maybe the chemistry they had was just proximity, 2 young people playing love so often, they thought it was real. But those lies didn't hold up when the cameras stopped rolling. Kelly, for her part, held her composure. She was hurt, yes. But there was steel beneath the sweetness. She wouldn't beg. She wouldn't chase. She kept her professionalism razor sharp, her smiles colder, her presence distant. And Mark felt every degree of that frost. She was everything I wanted, he admitted. But I thought, maybe I didn't deserve her. Or maybe I was scared it was too good. Scared. That was the truth of it, really. For a man used to control, the way Kelly made him feel was chaos. The way she saw through him, past the charm, past the rehearsed confidence, to the messy, unsure man underneath. That was terrifying. Midway through that week, something cracked. It was a Wednesday. The scene called for Mateo to kiss Haley in a dramatic reconciliation. The irony was painful. They were on set, lights flooding their faces, the director calling action. As Mark leaned in, everything in him tightened. Not because of the character. Because of her. Her lips were inches from his, but the warmth wasn't there anymore. She gave him a professional kiss, technically perfect, emotionally absent. Like kissing a ghost of something once alive. That night, Mark didn't sleep. He walked the streets of New York, hoodie up, hands shoved in his pockets like he could hide from the consequences of his own heart. He thought about the way Kelly laughed at dumb jokes. How she chewed her pen when learning lines. How fiercely she loved people, without needing permission. She didn't just light up a room. She changed the temperature of his entire life. And he'd walked away from that. From her. By Thursday, he'd stopped pretending. By Friday, he was unraveling. On Saturday morning, he called her. No script. No bravado. Just the raw, uncomfortable truth. I made a mistake, he told her, voice low. The biggest one of my life. There was a pause. He imagined her holding the phone, considering. Maybe rolling her eyes. Maybe crying. Finally, she said, "Okay. But you better be sure." He was. They eloped that very next week. People thought it was reckless. Impulsive. Too fast. But love, real love, doesn't always follow structure. Sometimes, it collapses timelines. It burns down logic and leaves only truth behind. And the truth was, Mark had already lived without Kelly once. He had no desire to ever do it again. Now, nearly 3 decades later, their lives are an intertwined map of early morning talk shows, red carpet appearances, shared inside jokes, and 3 children who look like varying degrees of both of them. Through fame, through family, through fame again, their love has endured. Still, Mark doesn't forget that week. The week he almost lost it all. He brings it up sometimes in interviews. Not because he enjoys reliving the pain, but because it reminds him what it took to hold on. How close he came to missing the love of his life, not because of a lack of love, but a lack of courage. So often, people talk about love like it's fate. Like it finds you and everything falls into place. But sometimes, love shows up and scares the hell out of you. It asks you to grow up, to get honest, to be brave. That week, the most agonizing of his life, taught Mark that bravery doesn't always look like grand gestures or chasing someone through an airport. Sometimes, it's making a phone call. It's saying, "I was wrong," without knowing if the person will forgive you. Mark did, Kelly did, and the rest is a story still being written, one morning show at a time.